we were looking at examples of community involvement that was particularly based around projects. But there is also, of course, the challenge of institutionalising community involvement and reflecting community input within the documents and policies that are used to manage our World Heritage Cities. So in session 3, we have 2 interesting papers from different parts of the globe that explore the theme of community involvement in development of public policies related to urban heritage. The first of these papers looks at the process following inscription of the Georgetown World Heritage Site on the World Heritage List in 2008. It is entitled Heritage and Community, Community Participation and Managing Livable Georgetown World Heritage Site. The paper is presented by Ms. Nurhanis Nordin, the Director of the Department of Heritage Conservation for the City Council of Penang Island. Would you please make her welcome?
Thank you, Professor McKay. Assalamualaikum, and a very good, should I say morning or afternoon? Should be afternoon, right? To all the distinguished guests and representatives and also the participants at the HICO Center today for our session 3 of the Scientific Day at the 14th World Congress of the OWHC 2017 in Gyeongju, South Korea. My name is Nurhanis binti Nordin, and I am the Director of the Department of Heritage Conservation in the City Council of Penang Island in Georgetown, Penang, Malaysia. I am very honored to be invited by the organization of the World Heritage Cities to participate, share, and learn, and also exchange our experiences in terms of heritage and communities, and also the good governance. Okay. Let me just introduce a little bit of Georgetown to all the participants. Georgetown is in Malaysia, and it's considered very tip of the Southeast Asia, and it's about like 6 to 7 hours flight from Malaysia to South Korea. And let me briefly just give a background of our World Heritage Site. Georgetown was inscribed as a World Heritage Site on July 7, 2008, under the category of culture, and with the criteria number 2, 3, and 4. So the inner city of Georgetown is inscribed as a World Heritage Site, and we have the 2 areas, the core and the buffer zone. And we were inscribed together with Malacca as the historic cities of the Strait of Malacca, and Georgetown. And this inscription recognized Georgetown as having a multicultural living heritage and unique architectural and townscape in East and Southeast Asia. So Georgetown is located at the northeastern tip of the Penang Island. Is confined to approximately 260 hectares of the inner city. It is divided into 2 areas, namely the core area and buffer zone, which has the largest number of pre-war historic buildings in the country. The city of Georgetown is the capital city of the state of Penang and one of the 13 states in the Federation of Malaysia. Penang is located in the north of the Peninsular Malaysia, as I showed earlier in the map, and consists of 2 municipalities, the City Council of Penang Island on the island, and the Municipal Council of Seberang Perai on the mainland. So the inner city of Georgetown has been inscribed with the category of cultural, and following the criteria of OUVs, Under number 2, interchange of human values and cultural over a span of time within one location. That is the number 2, the historic multicultural trading town. And then the number 3 is the exceptional representation of the living cultural tradition, or we summarize it as a testimony of the multicultural living heritage. And criteria number 4, outstanding examples of shophouses, typologies, and architecture, unique townhouse, and also multicultural architecture that you can find in Georgetown. So this is an example of category criteria 2. Criteria 3 with all the multiracial, multi-religious buildings, and also multi-tradition with the diversity of food, culture, clothing, languages, and so on. And this is the criteria number 4, consists of the unique architecture of the townhouses and shophouses, which is a large number of collections for the city of Georgetown, unique architecture buildings. And one of the outstanding characteristic of the shophouses is the 5-foot way, where you can find along the shophouses in Georgetown. Okay, before the UNESCO recognition prior to 2008, we have prepared the dossier long since 1990 until we got inscribed in 2008. And during that time also we prepared a very more simple heritage management plan to mention about the heritage guidelines and so on in the city of Georgetown. And also the council has guidelines for conservation areas and heritage buildings in Georgetown that was approved in 2007 before the inscription of the World Heritage Site. Then after the UNESCO recognition, we have come up with the World Heritage Office and formed also a heritage department, the technical review panel to evaluate and to review the development proposals in the Georgetown World Heritage Site. And also we have came up with more comprehensive conservation management plan and special area plan, and also having celebrations like the heritage celebrations and Georgetown festivals, and also doing some education and branding projects, programs, and so on. So this is just an overview of the government setup in Malaysia. Oops. So we have like a 3-tier government where the federal government is the most top government, followed by the state government and the local government. So in federal government, where heritage is concerned, there are 3 ministries that are involved with the heritage and education in terms of heritage. That is the Tourism and Culture Ministry, where we have the Department of National Heritage within the Tourism and Culture Ministry. And we also have Ministry of Urban Wellbeing, Housing and Local Government, and also Ministry of Education and Higher Education. And in the state government, where it comes to heritage, we also have the executive councillors platform or meeting. Then we have the State Planning Committee and also the Heritage Advisory Committee. And down to the local government is the City Council of Penang Island in terms of Georgetown is concerned. And also there's another organization formed under the state government, which is the Georgetown World Heritage Incorporated. So this organization work hand in hand with the City Council in terms of the management of the heritage in Georgetown. The Georgetown World Heritage Incorporated deals more with the promotion and also education in terms of engaging with the public, the school children, the communities, and so on. Whereas the local government in terms of the heritage, we will explore or deal more with the statutory kind of management, like approving plans, doing enforcement, monitoring, and anything got to do with the legal background. Yeah? So as mentioned by Professor Turner this morning, so under the Sustainable Development Goals, especially number 11, it's also concerned with the sustainable cities and communities. So part of the heritage involvement that includes the community will fall under the SDG number 11. Okay, as sustaining the heritage. With the listing as World Heritage, Georgetown has embarked on the following initiatives to conserve, redevelop, and rejuvenate the inner city to generate a dynamic growth, yet retain its unique tangible and intangible heritage. So we have come up with the physical conservation projects, urban renewal, and also infrastructure projects. And also improvement in the governance and management, as mentioned earlier. In the local authority, we have formed the Heritage Department, and also the state has formed the organization called the Georgetown World Heritage Incorporated to team up together with the local authority in terms of the heritage management in in Georgetown World Heritage Sites. And also we have prepared a more comprehensive plan, that is the special area plan and the conservation management plan, providing more detailed guides on conservation in Georgetown. And also we form additional legal framework. For example, the state government has also come up with the State Heritage Enactment in year 2011 to support the legal framework and also to give more legislative power to the states to enforce any kind of heritage issues in the states. Yeah? And also we have regularly do education and knowledge dissemination programs to enhance the understanding and participation of all stakeholders, especially the local communities, the building owners, the investors, developers, other government agencies, and so on. Yeah? And also we provide some kind of funding assistance of program for conservation and restoration through grant programs and other non-financial assistance, such as the experts and also the what do you call it? To offer any heritage and knowledge to the public and the house owner. So in order to sustain the heritage, the preservation and conservation activities in the World Heritage Sites of Georgetown aim to achieve the following objective. Yeah? To preserve the originality and the authenticity of the multicultural living heritage, to use cultural heritage for future economic, for social, cultural, and education development, and also to preserve and transmit the continuity of the significant values of the living and built cultural heritage as a life education tool and resource of knowledge for the young and for future generations, to preserve the close relationship of communities and the social cultural ties, to further enhance community involvement in order to create a sense of belonging and pride of place, and also to offer the visitors the opportunity to experience authentic multicultural living and built cultural landscape in its diverse manifestation. Yeah? In practicing good governance in the city of Georgetown, the City Council of Penang Island has adopted the process of public consultation and community engagement in order to create balance between development and also conservation. The engagement of the public and the community in the implementation of projects can give an important input, even their opinions are very subjective, based on different expertise, backgrounds, and needs. The following are some of the processes and projects by the City Council that involve the community and the heritage. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, after we got inscribed in year 2008, the state government has prepared a very comprehensive conservation management plan and also the special area plan for Georgetown World Heritage Site. So the conservation in Georgetown actually has started before the listing, and conservation policies guidelines were introduced very earlier in the inner city. After the listing, the property area is further enhanced, and heritage management plan, or you call it conservation management plan, and special area plan are prepared in the year 2009, 1 year after the inscription, by the authority to incorporate detailed guidance for managing and conserving the tangible and intangible heritage of Georgetown through the development control and projects to improve the world heritage. So in preparing the plan, one of the mechanisms is to engage the public by inviting the relevant stakeholders, local communities, associations, agencies, and also the locals to participate in the series of focus group discussions and workshops, and also some sort of a visioning workshop. Yeah? So this special area plan also involves the public realm preparation, where the plan does not just confined to buildings. It also demonstrates the guideline for the public areas and also public realms. So in the process of preparing the plans, after we receive all the inputs and the drafts from the focus discussion group and the workshops, we place the feedbacks into the plan, and the plan was exhibited and inspected to the public by the public for reviews and comments. So this is during the preparation of the special area plan, we had discussion with all kinds of levels of the community, the stakeholders, the building owners, the traders, even the visitors, the government agencies, and also the young generations or the students. So it's not really, I mean, the guide plan, the special area plan is quite a very thick book, and it's not easy to actually come up with all those guidelines without consulting all these stakeholders and the communities, because most of the question they ask us is like, what do UNESCO has to offer if if we follow all the guidelines? Does UNESCO give money to us to renovate our house, or does UNESCO give some kind of incentives to us in order to follow the guidelines and so on? And some of them also would say that they have inherit the property or the house from the great ancestors, and if you cannot allow for more development, what can they do with the property? So they ask, what are the benefits of having this special area plan, and what are the incentives that can be given to them by the government or even by the UNESCO, you see? So we had a very challenging and very interesting discussion before we can come up with the actual conservation management plan and also the special area plan. So we have to go all through the process, the exhibition, the forum, and we had to do, I think, like 4 or 5 times hearing forum in order to really address to the questions, to the issues that were being brought up by the stakeholders, the communities, and also the public. Some of them even remember they say something in the workshop, but it's not in the conservation management plan. So they ask, where did our ideas go? Why you do not put in the special area plan? So sometimes we have to explain that maybe we rephrase the word in such a way, so we have to actually show them and prove to them that all their feedbacks are being taken care of. So that's why they come to the hearing many times to make sure what they have input in the discussion or in the workshop being put in the special area plan. So we have every time we have the hearing, it was a very positive participation and attendance. And finally, until the gazettement of the SAP. Yeah? So we also have the committee in the local authority called the Technical Review Panel, which is established to examine all the application, including the heritage impact assessment reports within the Georgetown World Heritage Site. So this committee consists of the independent experts from the local authority, the academicians, the institutions, the universities, the professional bodies, historians, heritage consultants, and also NGOs, and not to forget also the state assemblymen, or quote-unquote the politicians. So we also have to include them in the technical review panel, so that the panel will be very transparent and can also contribute and give ideas to the development that is proposed within the World Heritage Site. And also in our Town and Country Planning Act, there is also one section in the Act that will refer the submission of the new developments to the neighboring lot owners for comments and objection. So normally for this exercise, the neighbors and developers will be called for hearing session should there be requests to do so. Normally we will refer the application or the development proposal submitted by the principal submitting architect to the neighbors for their comments or for their views. And the neighbors and developers can be called for hearing if there be requests, and then the objections or comments from the neighbors will be taken into consideration, and before we consider the application of the plan. And if either party don't agree with the local authority's decision, there's another setup which is called appeals board under the same act to view the objection, or to discuss further with the neighbors and the developers. Yeah. So this is also a venue where people or the community, in terms of the neighbors, can take part when there's a proposal or new development coming up in the city. Okay, there's another project. This is a local authority project that we undertake to do next year. Is a Campbell Street Market. So this market is a heritage building, and it's categorized as heritage building category 1. And so the council, the City Council of Penang Island, is in the process to implement and upgrading the market. And the council is always sensitive to the needs and issues related to the market. Therefore, the upgrading of the existing market is aimed to provide a more comfortable market equipped with the latest technology to improve the quality of life and to improve the existing traders and also the visitors to the market. So the building is actually heritage building category 1. It was built in 1901 or somewhere around 1900 for the purpose it's actually on the former burial site that was purchased by the municipal commissioner at that time. And the architecture of this building is a steel frame design with attractive corner facade that is very unique and has historical value and setting. So this is a very old market, but still doing trading. So we want to upgrade this market. But before we do the project, we have conducted a survey that involved the local communities as part of the brainstorming process by conducting surveys, dialogues, workshops last year and also this year. And the survey was done to obtain feedback from the public, involved traders, market consumers, communities, and also people living around the market. So this is the area located within the World Heritage Site. And as I mentioned earlier, it was situated under the burial ground at one time. So there is still one cemetery was left within the inner city of the market. So when we do the dialogues and the workshop, most of the traders and also the visitors don't mind to leave the one grave in the middle of the market. And they said it should be maintained. The one with the green color. Okay. So they feel that they have been there, trading there with the one cemetery. So they don't find any problem to trade with the cemetery around. So they want the cemetery to stay in the market. And also they also prefer more women to trade in the market. That is interesting. And also the traders also would like the local authority to organize more workshops in order for them to understand why this building is heritage and why the need to keep the building. Yeah? So the council hopes that the upgrading work of the market is not just done physically, but can regenerate the significant heritage activities. Because we also ask whether they still want to do market or they want to turn the building into some kind of activities. But the feedback says they still want to maintain the building as a market, and they want to be able to go to town and do shopping and do marketing still. So because they said that is the life, the cultural feeling in the city of Georgetown. So they still want to be able to do that kind of activities in the morning, to go to the market, even in the town area, and do the shopping. Okay. So these are the process when we do the public consultation with the traders as well as the market visitors and all that. And another project is the open space of the Armenian and Achin Street Green Project and back lanes. So this, just to highlight to the audience that this is a open space project and also a back lanes project. So this also we involve the community living surrounding the area, and we ask them what are what do they want to have in the park. And most of them responded that they still want the area to be maintained as green and be able to do activities. So we upgrade the park and provide the very basic facilities for them to enjoy the park and also do activities. And also the park can be used also for Heritage Day, Georgetown Festival, other celebration, even the leisure activities as the sports practiced by the residents. So when we complete the project, we invite all those residents and communities to come and be part of the group when we launched the project, and they were very happy and they like it. Even the back lanes also, at first we had difficulty also in order to clean up the back lane and also to upgrade the back lane, because some of the houses, they have extensions at the back, and they also have some they put things at the back of their house. So we have to really negotiate to them and explain to them why we need to have the back lanes in terms of to provide a safe, green, clean and healthy interacting environment so that they can also communicate and connect and move from one place to another within the back lanes. Instead of using just the front road, they can use the back lanes safely without, getting fear and things like that. So as mentioned earlier, this SDG number 11 also relate very much with the community in terms of making the cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. So this is my mayor, and she believes that the 4 Ps involving the public, the community, the investment and legal framework should come together as a private-public people partnership. Yeah. So the lesson learned here is that to us, the program of cultural activities with active participation of local population keeps the city alive and remains as an attraction to the young and the old. And policy of conserving the culture and tradition in the city ensures that the way of life of community if preserved and posterity. And also participation of the community and their commitment means that the city remains vibrant and the locals are engaged in a meaningful relationship with their heritage. It also means that they too have contributed towards the implementation of the initiatives. Yeah? So a word from the mayor, safeguarding Georgetown's intrinsic tangible and intangible heritage values is a team effort and partnership of various agencies, government, land and building owners, community group, and non-government agencies. So with that, I end my presentation. And this is just some example of the outreach, awareness, and education program that we did with the community, the students, the publics, and also other relevant agencies. Yeah. Thank you very much.
This very informative presentation about Georgetown serves to highlight the transformative role that World Heritage Inscription can play. Its use as a catalyst to develop processes and structures for consultation. And what is very interesting to me is the way in which the arrangements for community involvement and consultation have developed in the period since the inscription of that property. We have some short time for questions. Yep, there's one down here, 2 down here, and 1 over there.
Thank you very much. It's Ege Yildirim again, ICOMOS focal point for the SDGs and Modern Site Manager. Firstly, it's so wonderful to see a female mayor, so congratulations. And UNESCO has 2 global priorities, gender and Africa, as you might know. So I think that's a good point in that direction. Also, I would like to raise your attention to the World Urban Forum that's happening in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, next year in February. And if you don't mind me publicizing an event, as ICOMOS, we are targeting to be there to represent the urban heritage constituency, and hopefully, perhaps Georgetown would like to participate with case studies in the WOF as well. So it would be nice to collaborate, and this goes for all World Heritage cities, really. Just wanted to raise your attention to the World Urban Forum, 9th one taking place next year. Thank you.
Okay, so that was more an intervention than a question, so we might move to the next one, please.
Sí, buenas. Otilia Paredes, Arequipa, Perú. En la construcción de sus planes, ¿ustedes invitan a la comunidad a participar o es iniciativa de ellos? Y si ustedes los invitan, ¿cómo es que los eligen y qué respuesta tienen por parte de ellos? Y la segunda parte es si realmente ha sido una contribución y cuál es la diferencia que la participación de ellos hace en la elaboración de los planes que ustedes realizan.
Okay, I answer. Okay, thank you for the question. You're asking about the special area plan project, right? Yeah. Okay, so it's been our practice to have a community or the public involvement in every project for the City Council. So for this implementation of the special area plan, we in our Town and Country Planning Act, there's already a provision to call for a public consultation and also public exhibition. But before we go to the public consultation and public exhibition, we have a focus discussion group. We have a numbers of focus discussion group according to the area. So because in Georgetown there are quite numbers of local communities, local associations. So we create the focus group discussion according to the area. So maybe for one session we will go to this area, and then for another session we will select another area, because we want everybody to be involved in the preparation of the plan, and it has to be everybody, meaning the big developers, the small developers, the residents, the building owners, even the traders, and also, even the housewife also, we invited them to come and give feedback to the special area plan. That's why we've been asked a lot of questions in terms of what are the benefits do they get if they agree to a certain guidelines provided by the local authority. What are the incentives? What are the benefit they can get? So we also, in our special area plan, there are chapters on incentives and also on the funding program or funding assistance. So we take all their feedbacks and we transfer it into the plan. So of course, maybe they are not 100% according to what they want. If you ask them, they want the sky. So we said we have to go halfway. So it's a win-win situation. So that's why after the discussion, we translate it into the plan and we do the exhibition. That's where they come and inspect. And some of them, as I mentioned earlier, would raise question about what they have discussed in the earlier discussion, whether the ideas were input into the plan or not. So we go, my mayor always say, if they don't come to us, we go to them and get their feedback. I just want to just now respond to the World Urban Forum
just fairly quickly, if you could, please, Johannes, because we have one more question and then the next paper.
Okay, the World Urban Forum will be held in Kuala Lumpur next year, and one of the side events is to visit Georgetown World Heritage Site. So maybe for those who is going to the World Urban Forum next year, maybe you can visit Georgetown on your side events program. Thank you.
Thank you, Johannes. And we have one, if I could ask just one more intervention, brief, and perhaps a brief answer, please. Thank you.
Good morning. I'll be very quick with my question. It's about, my name's Crystal Buckley. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and work with ICOMOS World Heritage Program. I'm interested in two aspects of coordination. How does it work? How well does it work, and how effectively? The first thing that I noticed was that you have the City Council, but also Georgetown World Heritage Office, and that you have complementary roles. So do you find that you need to work on that relationship so that they are knowing each other? And the second is because you are unusually, but not uniquely, a World Heritage property made up of 2 cities, which you mentioned at the beginning, Georgetown and Malacca. And I'm wondering, how does that work for you? Is it a feature of your thinking at the local level? And how do you ensure that you meet the World Heritage requirements to act as a single property, even though Malacca is, quite far away and an entirely unique and special city in its own right as well? So maybe we can talk about it more in the break, but if you could give us a brief answer, it'd be very much appreciated.
Okay, in terms of the local authority, the City Council and Georgetown World Heritage Incorporated, so it's a 2 organization. The local council is the government organization, and the GTWHI is formed under the state government, but it's for the promotion of the heritage as well as to conduct education programs, and also to come up with a heritage kind of programs. But in terms of the local authority, we deal also with the statutory part of the heritage, as to process and approve any development in the World Heritage Site. We also do enforcement. We do enforce those non-compliance with the heritage guideline. Those who do renovation work without approval, those who do the change of usage without approval, and also those who demolish a heritage building without approval. So that will go to the local authority to take legal action after that. So the role of the 2, in terms of the GTWHI is more on the non-statutory body, and the local authority is more on the statutory and to perform the legal aspect of it. And in terms of Georgetown and Malacca, yes, we were inscribed under the 2 cities. It's quite far from Georgetown to Malacca, but under the federal government, there's a Department of National Heritage, which is formed under the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. So this National Heritage Department will oversee both Malacca and Georgetown, and also will call for monitoring meetings every now and then to see what are the new things or the things that are being done in Malacca and also Georgetown. And we were regularly reminded by the National Heritage Department not to do anything beyond our special area plan. Because in Malacca, they also have the special area plan for Malacca. So we have 2 separate documents, but it will be overseen by the National Heritage Department under the ministry to synchronize and to keep everything in order. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Nahas.